Hi everyone, welcome to episode 2, Virtual Cycling. Thanks to everyone who tuned in and watched episode 1. I'm here with my co-host, Riley Harvey. Hi there Riley, how are you? What have you been up to lately?
I'm good, thanks, Mike. I've been getting out in the real world. The sun's shining, so I had to get out there and do a bit of real life cycling. But I've still been keeping up to date with some of the virtual events. It's pretty addictive, this virtual riding stuff.
Yeah, I've also been outside as well, enjoying the sun, but also had a little bit of a spill, fell off on a little bit of gravel, and also I did my first IRL road race as well.
I think there'll be more than a couple of people having a little tumble when they go outside and realise they actually have to do some steering. How does the race go?
Yeah, it was good. Good experience, a little bit different to riding inside. You're riding in that pack and everyone's literally within a couple of inches of you. It's quite intense. Quite a different skill set, but no, it was really enjoyable, and I'll certainly be looking more over the summer.
Sounds great. How are you after your crash? I hope it wasn't too serious.
No, not too bad. I was on a new road, a bit of pacey gravel descent, and there's suddenly a sharp corner, and I just took it a bit too hot, and the bike slid out from under me and bruised ego more than anything. A couple of people laying on the floor in the dirt. So yeah, a bit embarrassing, but bike's okay, and I'm okay too.
Oh, that's important. Good catching up. Do we see what's happening in the news?
Yeah, definitely. Right, let's lead with the biggest news in RGT that's happening right now. Kate's virtual Trans-American bike race. Epicness on a different scale. Surely the biggest ride ever on RGT. Kate's well into a race now and the miles are ticking by. Well over 3,000 miles in the bag. I've been catching some miles with her on the group rides. The pace that she's setting, that distance is absolutely incredible. Catches me out every time. Jump on, think I'm just going to get a nice gentle spin, but Kate is absolutely motoring, and I just see her going off into the distance every time. Riley, I know you've been quite involved with the whole setup as well.
Yeah, I've been jumping on and catching a few miles with Kate, and I'm suffering the same way that you are, Mike. She's quite often dropping me when I'm not paying enough attention. But it's been a fantastic event, and it's really something that everyone can jump in and try. Everything's set up as a group ride, so people are jumping in before an event as a warm up or coming in afterwards as a cool down, and just riding their own ride, really. There's some guys that have been jumping in and just flying off the front and trying to complete the sections as quick as they can. And that's fine too. Kate's really been boosted by having people on the road. And if you can't join in to take part and put a few miles down, then ZMS Livestream have got it running constantly. But it's not just somebody filming single rider on the road. There's loads more going on with the stream. It's really well polished. There's interviews going on. There's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style questions for winning prizes going on throughout the event. It's really great. Some interesting athletes. Lael Wilcox done an interview for Kate. She recently won the women's version of Unbound Gravel XL, which is the biggest race in America at the moment. But if you can, just get on just to say that you've been part of such a fantastic event. It's been brilliant. And I'm sorry to see it come to a close. Well, I'm sure Kate won't be, but she'll have nothing to fill her time soon. But yeah, that's coming to a close soon, guys. So jump on as quick as you can. But moving on with some of the other big events, I understand there's a London to Brighton bike ride coming up soon, Mike. Do you know a little bit more about this one?
Yeah, so the London to Brighton bike ride, it's a big charity in real life ride. It takes place every year, barring pandemics, of course. And this year it's scheduled to take place in real life on the 19th of September. Now, in the virtual world, James Ogilvy, my mate from Tour de Monde, also of OTR Racing, is putting on a virtual edition as well in partnership with the British Heart Foundation. That's the charity that is beneficiary of the event, and it's raising funds and awareness for that foundation. James is encouraging as many people as possible to jump in on the virtual ride, give it a virtual go. It's about 80 miles from London down to Brighton. And yeah, it's being held virtually on the same day. It's all about making it as widely available as possible. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you'll have an opportunity get involved. And we've seen what's happened recently in the Euros with Christian Eriksen, that having some awareness of heart issues and those problems is really important. And this is just a great opportunity for everyone to get stuck in. Now, it's still a few months away, so we'll be bringing you some more updates as it gets nearer to the time. And as always, there's loads of events going on in RG. It's really hard just to pick out a few, but Riley, I think there's a couple that you can as well.
Yeah, so recently the NorCal events, or the Northern California events, have found a permanent place in the app calendar. So they're gaining more traction now, with riders needing more times that suit them across the world. There's also the Night Rider events that Samir's putting on. Again, it's a little bit of a different time slot, not hitting those really busy 6-7 European time slots, going a little bit later. The idea was that it was going to be for people in the UK who maybe have got younger kids who can't get on the bike until a little bit later on. But it's also working really well for different people around the world. There's also seems to be quite a few New Zealanders popping up on the RGT events now. It's great to see people from all countries around the world. Great to see everyone riding on RGT, and it's really good to see it getting busier.
Yeah, it's really good, and I know that those New Zealand rides, for example, that takes place over in their evening, but that's good for us Brits who want an early morning spin. So yeah, it's really good to see that there's events all throughout the day now. And also there's a new event that's just announced by RGT as well, which is in partnership with James Golding. So they're looking to, well, James is doing a world record attempt for the most number of miles cycled in a week, and can take part in a ongoing challenge road, and it will cover the same loop that James is looking to do his event on, and that's all available to sign up in the app, so have a look for that. Now it's time to move on to the rumour mill. Well, as always, there's lots going on in the world of RGT, and we've been keeping our ears close to the ground to see what's been going on. And I hear that there's going to be an Olympics week. One of the teams are organising some different events. That's coming up at the end of July, I think. So keep an eye out for that. Another rumour that I've heard is that the very successful Vive la France event from last year is going to make a return. Now, the real Tour de France starts this weekend, but my understanding is that Vive la France 2 is going to be happening a little bit later, not coming until September. So keep an eye out for that one. Then rather excitingly, a little bit further down the line, there's the World Championships coming from Flanders and the town of Leuven in Belgium. Now, I did see that one of the RGT programmers posted a test ride which featured part of that World Championship route. Is that going to be a new real world course that is in development, or was that just a magic road, or was it just a tease and they're just trying to get us excited over nothing? So something else to watch out for coming up. And then there's been a few things with ZMS. I've seen that they've been promoting ESTV, so it looks like they've perhaps got some partnership in the works with a new TV station that promotes electronic sports. That's what I've been hearing on the rumour mill. Riley, anything coming through on your end?
Well, RGT have been doing quite a bit of teasing. They also dropped a sneaky video out on YouTube of some new physics, which was interesting. It looked like there was a lot more responsiveness, a lot more smoothness from the avatar movement. But it wasn't so much what they really posted as what they weren't mentioning, which was that there was a new mini map that appeared in that screen. And also, whenever it appeared the mouse got moved, there was some icons, some buttons that popped up on the screen. So it's looking like we may have a one app setup arriving soon. So some really interesting stuff. It's looking fantastic. As always, RGT, really innovative. They're moving fast. It's great to see.
Yeah, and that mini map, I know that's been requested quite a few times. So it's good to see them listening to the users, taking that feedback on board, and then pulling it into the development stream and bringing it forward. So yeah, we'll wait to see when that drops into an app update sometime in the near future, we hope.
Fantastic.
If you do have any rumours, yeah, and if people do hear rumours, then let us know on Twitter or in a comment, and we'll do some investigation and we'll see what we can do to find out a little bit more.
This week we shine the spotlight on Lurik's group ride. Lou's been cycling RGT for as long as I can remember, and he's always riding. About 2 years ago, started doing little group rides, and Lou eventually made something a bit more organised and started getting in the app calendar. Been running regular weekend rides ever since. Have you had a chance to join any yourself, Mike?
Yeah, I've joined in a few. Don't always make it to the whole ride, as I tend to jump in for a little bit, either before a race, after a race. Yeah, just to warm up or cool down. So I'm a bit of a newbie when it comes to group rides. What makes them different and stand out to other group rides?
I'd say it's down to the natural pacing of the rides that have made them a firm favourite with everyone. It's not limited in what kilogram. You're not told how to ride. Everyone starts off at the same sort of pace, and then natural groups develop on the road. There's some ride leaders out there who kind of marshal people and try and hold the groups together, pacing people back up the group, etc. And the drafting feature in RGT, the way that works really helps with keeping people together. But yeah, it's something that got a bit for everything. You've got steadier paces, but you've got someone to ride with, and Lou always drops back and makes sure that everyone in the group has someone to ride with. That's something that he really does. It's a group ride after all.
Yeah, when I've been joining, I've been doing a bit of race warm up, race prep, so I do tend to do a bit of a quicker segment, and sometimes a little bit worried that frowned upon. But it seems like Lou, he just enjoys people riding at their own pace, and it's about bringing people together. So hopefully, I'm not annoying anyone by jumping off the front.
No, not at all. It's something that's actually encouraged. That there's generally a race pack, or someone going at race pace, and they go off the front. That everyone else, we try and hold them together a little bit at the back while everyone gets warmed up and finds the group. But there's a race pace that goes off the front, and they go as fast as they can for as long as they can. And one of the nice things is that if you find that the pace is taking you off, you blow up, you can just drop back to one of the slower groups on the road, and you've always got that pack to drop back to find someone to ride with.
Well, sounds like I've got my virtual weekend group ride sorted. One thing I do like about the Lou rides is that at the same time, 3 p.m. UK time, Saturday and Sunday every week. So it's going to be there. If you've got a spare hour, you can jump in, find some friends and ride for a little bit. Right, now let's move on to the part that you've all been waiting for, Mike's Pain Cave. Let's go take a look at this.
Pain Cave. I didn't really think about this feature fully. I've realised I'm quite a jealous person. There are some fantastic pain caves getting sent in, but before we look at the viewer pain caves, we've got to look at Mike's. Now, I'll be honest, Mike, did you get the duster out before doing your video?
Not the duster, no, definitely not. But you may have seen my little preview that I posted up on the Facebook page. I have had a little bit of a switch around since then, so we'll look a bit different if you'd already looked at that video.
All right, here we are then. Welcome into my pain cave. This is my garage, located next to my house. And a general overview of what we've got here. First off, let's start. This is my trusty Cannondale CAD 12 I've had for 5 years now. Clocked up quite a lot of miles outside on this, a few crit races, some sportives. Really nice bike and really nimble, really enjoy that. And then over here, this is my indoor bike, a little bit more battered. This is a Cube, which I've had for about 7 or 8 years. There's my trainer. That's an Elite Diretto, which I've had for about 18 months now. That's been really good. I had a dumb trainer before that for about a year and then upgraded to the Diretto. As we look around, I've got this board here just on top of my bike. That gives me a nice working platform for my mouse and my keyboard for when I'm doing the live streams. You can see here on the telly, nice big telly in front of the bike. I've got it set up ready for the next filming of the next vCycling news. Got a couple of fans, couple of these small 10-inch fans either side. There's my microphone, got my bottles there. Of course, my green screen, keep me looking good in behind. And then over here as well, we've got on this worktop the protein powders. That's the strawberries and cream variety. And then underneath, quite a few protein bars in there for when I really need to refuel. Quite a few towels, obviously it gets a bit hot in the garage. And then I run off a desktop PC. So you can see it there on the left-hand side. So that's got a i5 processor in it and a 1650 GeForce. I can't quite remember. Damon from ZMS, he gave me some recommendations and I got that one. It's a refurbished sort of second-hand one off Amazon. That was a really good value. It also means that you get a 12-month warranty, which is pretty good. And then I just got various bits of bike stuff, tyres, inner tubes, some wheels, some medals there from mostly from rowing rather than cycling. There's a picture of when I rode at Dorney Lake, which is where they had the London 2012 Olympics rowing. So I do quite a lot of rowing as well as cycling. There's a ticket there from when I went to the Olympic Games as well, signed by Tim Foster, one of the Olympic gold medalists who rode with Steve Redgrave and Matt Pinton. And then a few more, there's some cycling medals and rare medals as well, another bike wheel there. And then just down here I've got a few bits that I just got prepped. I'm doing the Dartmoor Classic Sportive, so there's my number. I've just been doing a bit of work on the bike, my heart rate monitor, some bottles of water which I'll get sorted. So yeah, wish me luck for that. And there we go, there's the general setup. Oh, and I'll just show you this as well. I've got some rubber mat in here, and then underneath, a couple of wooden boards. Now if I come right down and lift this up, what we got under there, that is some old underlay that you've put under the carpet to cushion it. So I've got about 3 layers of that under there to create a little bit of a homemade rocker plate. Right, well there we go. I'm going to have to finish there because I've got to get on with the filming. There we go, there's Riley on the screen. So we'll catch you all again soon.
Yeah, I'm sure. I have a feeling the cleaning fairies got in there overnight.
No cleaning fairies. But yeah, I do try to keep it a little bit tidy. But anyway, moving on. Several of our viewers have sent in their pain cave since the last episode. We've picked out one to show you. This is from Keith Aitchison. And we'll post some more pictures in the description of the video as well. So check them out. And as always, please send in some more so we can feature them next time. Let's take a look at Keith's pain cave.
Hi, this is for the series My Pain Cave, or in my case, a pain cave, which is French for a wine cellar, as this used to be a winemaker's house. This is the old press, the place where the grapes were stored, and here are the vats where the wine was stored. You can see it's quite a spacious area. This is our tandem that we get out on, my spare solo, my bike on the trainer. It's a Cannondale Synapse fitted with 54, 36 and an 1132 on the back on a Wahoo kicker core. Computer connected via FTP cable to the router upstairs and HDMI to the 20-inch TV screen. A fan, of course. Other bikes, my mountain bike, wife's solo, brother's tandem and solo bikes up on top of the old storage units. And then outside I have a view of the street, and down the street the tower with the flag fluttering to show me which way I should go riding if I'm going out in the real world rather than riding on RGT. Looking back in to the pain carved in a French garage.
There have been some really interesting spaces around the world. Kind of puts mine to shame. Mike, you were looking at an alternative to RGT. How did you get on?
It's not that I'm bored of RGT, but having come from Swift in the past, I know that there's a lot of different apps out there. So I thought I'd take a little look at Hustle City, which is a slightly different app where you take on the role of a bike messenger in a busy city.
Yeah, I've seen this, but it's only for iPhone at the moment. That's right, isn't it? So that kind of rules me out.
Yeah, it's quite a new app, so they're a little bit limited in its availability. It's only available, like you say, from the App Store, so on Apple products. It runs on iPhones or iPads. But the idea is that you can stream it to a larger TV using an ATV or using just plugging it into with a cable, HDMI. And it's also limited to Bluetooth connections as well. So at the moment, it's a little bit limited, but it was quite good fun. You take on this role of a bike messenger, and you can use your phone. This is the interesting thing. Put it on your handlebars, and it uses the gyro within the phone, and then that way you can steer around cars, around corners, delivering these packages. And yeah, it was quite fun. I'm not sure about its longevity. There's a few levels, and in each level it's a little bit different. But then you can't. There's not like a free ride mode. You just have to try and beat your time on each level essentially. So you can go back, but yeah, it's not like RGT where you could just go for an hour's ride and just go and speak to other people. It is only single player. There is no multiplayer mode. But I'm sure as they develop it, as people sign up, that gives them a little bit of income, and then they can start looking at maybe a race mode where there's two of you on screen at the same time, and you're trying to be the first one to deliver the package, or it's a bit like in the old days, Crazy Taxi, or those sort of games where you've got to try and go around the city and drop off as many different packages as you can. But yeah, it was quite good fun, but I'm not sure it's got quite enough to draw me away from RGT on a regular basis.
Yeah, cost-wise, it sounds like it could be quite an inexpensive option if you've got the option to redo the levels. And but I mean, not even redoing the levels. How much interest are these levels going to have when you've done them 4, 5, 6 times? And I also think that I kind of like the idea of having other riders on the road. It gives me targets, gives me someone to ride with, someone to pace with, makes it very dynamic. You're never going to have the same ride with someone else. They're always going to behave differently. And not sure that app would have that for me.
Yeah, I can see how a lot of people, they enjoy the social side, but a lot of people, this is quite a fun, gamified way to do a little bit of a workout. So I can see how they're targeting that little bit of the market as well. So it'll be interesting to see how it develops. Like you say, it's a one-off cost at the moment, available from the App Store. And if anyone else has had a go, then please let us know how you get on, and we'll see how we'll read out some comments next week. All right, that's it for this episode of Virtual Cycling News. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe this video, and that will give you a notification when the next episode goes live. In the meantime, please send us your videos or pictures of your pain cave so we can slot them into next month's.
Next time around, we'll have another version of RGT versus ITT, where Mike will be seeing if he can make the cut in stage 5 of the TDF, and we'll take a look at the new kid on the block, My Whoosh.
Yeah, I can't say I'm particularly looking forward to that time trial effort. Whereas the Giro one was about 7 or 8 kilometres, this one's going to be 30k, so that's definitely going to be a good hour of pain. I'll also be following up with Kate as she completes her virtual Trans-America bike race, seeing how she feels after doing 4,200 miles on the trainer. And I'll also be shining on the weekly TNT Omnium event, which is a very unique event on RG. So that's all I'm going to be bringing next time, and I'll catch you then.
Keep safe, and I'll see you in the virtual.